Zorian's eyes abruptly shot open as a sharp pain erupted from his stomach. His whole body convulsed, buckling against the object that fell on him, and suddenly he was wide awake, not a trace of drowsiness in his mind.
"Good morning, brother!"
An annoyingly cheerful voice sounded right on top of him.
"Morning, morning, morning!"
Relief immediately flooded his mind, closely followed by despair. He had done it. He had kept his soul safe from the third time-traveller and survived the encounter entirely unscathed. But his allies...
"Zorian, are you all right?"
Zorian stared at his sister for several long seconds, a million thoughts racing through his mind. She looked uncomfortable with his blank stare and silence, but Zorian couldn't really bring himself to care at the moment. His mind was still stuck on his desperate escape from Red Robe, on almost being captured by a mass-murdering psychotic necromancer with an untold amount of time-looping experience. On the fact that said necromancer now knew there were other human time-travellers running around and could be coming after him this very moment. On the fact that the Aranea were dead. Dead and never coming back. He absent-mindedly pushed Kyriel off him, put on his glasses and started pacing around the room. Killing a soul was impossible. They could not be destroyed, only modified. Everyone said so. The teachers, all the books he had read discussing the topic, Kyle, the amateur necromancer. Hell, even the goddamn Lich had said so in one of his offhand comments back when Zorian was first brought into the time loop. How, then, did Red Robe manage to kill the souls of the Aranea? Zorian supposed the simplest explanation would be that Red Robe had simply discovered something other mages hadn't. He was a necromancer with a huge amount of time available to him, and an easy way to avoid the usual consequences of various grisly experiments. Perhaps he had succeeded where other necromancers had failed. But Zorian didn't think this was likely. The Lich seemed to be a better mage than anyone he had met thus far, Red Robe included, and the Lich had certainly considered a soul-killing spell impossible. But that just might all be wishful thinking on his part. He didn't want the Aranea to be gone for good. Damn it! He had grown to like the stupid spiders. Sure, they'd had their disagreements, but he'd never really wished them ill, and he didn't think they'd have wished him ill either. Novelty certainly hadn't, and she couldn't lie to save her life. If he was being perfectly honest with himself, he had practically thought of Novelty as a second little sister. But now she was gone, just like the rest of the Aranea beneath Scioria. And the worst thing? He had let it happen. He'd spent the whole evening gathering the matriarch's last message, oblivious and uncaring to what was really happening, while Red Robe was hunting down the Aranea across the city. He had known he was dealing with another time-traveller, and he'd never once considered that the man might have developed countermeasures against others of their kind. Gods, he felt so stupid now. Although, it was strange. First of all, if Red Robe could permanently get rid of anyone who bothered him, why hadn't he used that spell more often? Surely the invasion would be a lot easier if he got rid of a couple of key stumbling blocks. Yet, Zorian hadn't heard of any notable people waking up dead at the start of each restart, and he had access to the extensive information network maintained by the Aranea.